Hello everyone, it's Karen and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to do a box set video, and this is a box set I required a good few weeks ago, but was hoping to do a video on it at some point, and now I'm finally going to do a video on this this box. So today I'm going to be going over this box set, Elvis, From Nashville to Memphis, the Essential 60s Masters 1. Now, it says 1 because there were two 60s Masters releases, and this is the first one. I will show the second one later on in the video. So I'm just going over what you get in the box set, the content and whatnot, just a big box set in general. So this came out in 1993, and this was a follow-up to to this box set, the Complete 50s Masters, the previous year, which was a really good box set. I've done a video on that if you want to see me go over that in more detail. We'll go over this one, and this one was issued in 1993. Issued on CD and cassette, and I think vinyl as well. I have seen it issued on vinyl somewhere online, but as this came out in 93 and this was the era of CD, the vinyl versions are a lot more rarer, so the CD versions are more easier to find. But this is the original 1993 edition, which I, for a long while, had the 2010 edition, which I'll soon be selling because I'm not a big fan of the way some of these CDs are packaged out. It can get very difficult to get some of the things out. Don't mind the fact you get a book in the middle, but I kind of wanted to have the original version. So I managed to find the original version for quite cheap on eBay for about £20. So it was pretty good for 5 CDs and a book. So here's the front, nice picture of Elvis in the front. Side and the back. All the tracks on here. Unlike the 50s Masters, which I showed in the which I showed a few months ago, this one only has select tracks from the 60s. So it only has the it has the non-film soundtrack songs, and it doesn't have any of the gospel songs either. So this is kind of like the kind of mainstream regular Elvis recordings from the 60s, from 1969. So from 1960 up to 1969. But it doesn't include any of the 1969 live performances, which I'm sure would have been nice if they flung some of those in. But we kind of had a release like that with the Collector's Gold box set 2 years earlier. So I think it kind of makes sense that they didn't include it on there, but it still would have been nice if they did. But that's the sticker there. What it says 5 CD set, 130 tracks, includes 19 previously unreleased alternate performances, 48-page full-colour booklet with many rare photos from the Graceland Photo Archives, contains full supporting recording session data and complete 60s discography, line-ups by Peter Gernlach, who also did the line-ups for the 50s box and has done a couple of Elvis biographies, or a few of the Elvis biographies as well. Includes a sheet of RCA Records full label, full-colour stamps dissecting Elvis Presley's 60s record covers. The Ultimate Digitally Mastered Collection from the original RCA record label Master Tapes, featuring Elvis Presley's finest 60s performances from the Nashville and the complete 1969 Memphis sessions. Special bonus track as well, the legendary and previously unreleased Love Me Tender Witchcraft Duet with Frank Sinatra, the highly anticipated follow-up to the 3-time Grammy nominated box set, The King of Rock and Roll Complete 50s Masters. So that's what the sticker says in the front. Back with all the tracks. So we just take the lid off of the box like so, and that's what the box looks like. And so here's the little insert we get, which is advertised in the 50s box, which I showed, and on the other side you get this, Elvis in Hollywood 50s, which talks about his 50s films, and it was on video at the time. I hope you can get. I think you might be able to get that on DVD. I'm not sure. I'll need to look and see if you can, but I should be able to. Then at the bottom there, we've got the advertisements for the 68 Comeback Special, One Night With You, and Aloha From Hawaii, all on VHS, on the videotape at the time. But they're all now available on DVD, those concerts, which I have. So yeah, but it's still nice, a little piece of history from the time. And here's the big book as well. Back a picture from the Comeback Special, and there aren't any songs from the Comeback Special on here either, but the Comeback Special is available on a standalone CD, or I think it was at the time, which I must, so yeah. But anyway, we're going to open it like this. So this is a really good box set, I must say. Just as good as the 60s Masters, even if the 50s Masters, sorry, even if it doesn't have everything. But anyway, we get the pictures and articles. So the kind of significant things that really happened in the 60s with Elvis. Liner notes again. So the significant thing that happened with Elvis in the 60s was at the end of the 50s, he had been in the army, been away in the army, and he then came back and still made a few records, but mostly was appearing in films, and was recording soundtracks as well. And he didn't do any live performances throughout the whole decade. And up until the end of the decade, in 1968, of course, as we all know, he did the comeback special, and then with the success of that in 1969, he went back and did his first live performances, which were at the International Hotel in Las Vegas. And then by into the next decade, the 70s, he was playing live and touring again, and recording as well. And I do have the 70s box as well, which I'm hoping to do a video on that box set at some point. It says the liner notes. This is all the recording data, so we get all the recording sessions and whatnot, and it just explains all the musicians that played at these sessions. Oh, the light in here might be a bit not too great. No, sorry, I think that's a wee bit better actually. So that one. Some really nice pictures in here as well, some which I don't think I've seen before. Even mentions all the engineers and the people in the session as well. Discography as well on both the US and UK labels. Well, RC was really kind of distributing the records in both US and UK at this point, but it has both the US and UK discography and when they come out and all the chart places, which is very cool. That's a picture of the RCA studios in Nashville, I believe. Credits, and these are the album covers and single covers as well, similar to the 50s box. Back, and here's the little stamp sheet like the other box sets, all the album covers, single covers from that time. Most of which I've now got on vinyl, I should say. Now I'm going to go over the CDs, and they're all housed like this. So just go over them bit by bit. So the first CD is this nice picture of Elvis here. This first disc focuses from the Elvis's Back album up to the Something for Everybody album. So like the first 60 to 61. As stated though, it doesn't have a, again like with the other CDs, these don't have booklets, they just they all kind of look like this. They get all the recording dates and all the song right composers. But that big book is kind of makes up for it, I guess, so yeah. What was I going to say? So yeah, this one, as I say, it goes over from Elvis's Back to Something for Everybody, but it doesn't contain anything from the His Hand in Mine or GI Blues soundtrack albums. I know there is a separate gospel release from the same period, which I would like to get hold of at some point. But yeah, still really nice to have this one. Disc 2 picks up from where Disc 1 left off, and that's quite a nice photo of Elvis there. This one picks up from the Something from Everybody album. We get a few of the hit singles, we get Potluck with Elvis songs, and some songs that end up in Elvis for Everybody 1965. We even get a few of the bonus soundtrack songs as well in here as well, because Elvis recorded a few songs at different sessions that were later made bonus tracks of the soundtracks. Many examples include like this CD has Love Me Tonight, which is a bonus on the Fun in Acapulco soundtrack. And later on we'll touch upon another few, and so did Slowly But Surely, which is on Fun in Acapulco. And Echoes of Love was a bonus song on the Kissin' Cousins soundtrack. So the second disc goes from, picks up from Starting From Memory, and then goes up to the May 1963 sessions, which have become known as the Lost Album sessions, because Elvis had intended to release an album in 63, 64, but it never came to fruition. It wouldn't be until For the Asking in 1990 that we got that kind of album. So yeah, that's quite good CD there. As I said in my 50s video, people will all probably ask, what your favourite Elvis era is. I like all the eras, but sometimes it will vary and change. One day it might be into the 50s, some days the 70s, or 60s. But then again, I like all of everything. Anyway, here's disc 3. Picks up from the last disc left off again, so we get some of the leftovers from the May 63 sessions, then we go through 64, 66, 67, down to 68 with the US Mail single. Again, this one does not have the How Great Thou Art album, because that was a gospel album. There is a separate gospel release, as stated earlier, called, I forget its name, The Essential Performances, or Amazing Grace, or something like that. I can't exactly remember what it's called, but I'll definitely need to try and look it up. I know it came out at the same time. This is a very special one because you get the original undubbed master of Beyond the Reef, and you also get an alternate take of Come What May, which they had to use this one on alternate tape because they couldn't find the stereo master tape for it. Then we get the unedited master of I'll Remember You, which was on the Spin Out soundtrack album, but in edited form. But this here has its complete unedited form as it was recorded. Then we get the Guitar Man What I'd Say medley, which is unedited, so is High Heel Sneakers. So we get some unedited tracks for the first time that were edited upon the original releases. This is quite a nice one there, nice front and back picture. So yeah, really nice that they included that one. So yeah, that's a nice CD there. Disc 4. This is the start of the 1969 Memphis sessions that resulted in from Elvis in Memphis and Back in Memphis albums, both of which are great. So yeah, really good one there. And the last disc is disc 5. Nice kind of blue colour in the background, nice picture there. I think that was from after the first concert in Vegas press conference the next day. There's the back. We get a few more from the 69 songs, and then we get some alternates. So we get some alternate takes of things like In the Ghetto, Suspicious Minds, Kentucky Rain. We get the 1963 version of Memphis, Tennessee, which is really nice. On the undubbed version of I'm Yours. An alternate take of Surrender, and That's Someone You Never Forget. And you get the undubbed master of It's Now or Never, which was issued as a mistake on some pressings of the single, because the piano overdub was added 2 days after the recording, which is the first instance where an Elvis recording was overdubbed at the time, and that would later become a common feature when Felton Jarvis got involved with Elvis's productions. Felton Jarvis added overdubs to some of the later recordings from like 69 up to 76, 77, but we were getting the undubbed versions on here with the alternate takes, and as well as the undubbed master of It's Now or Never, which was put out as stated by mistake before it was later recalled. And as I said, we get the Frank Sinatra duet of Love Me Tender, Witchcraft. We're kind of like a medley. Frank sings one line of Love Me Tender, Elvis then does Witchcraft, and then they both kind of sing together at the end of the track. Really nice. It's from the special when Elvis came home from the army, and Frank Sinatra did a television special with Elvis, and Elvis sang Stuck on You in Fame and Fortune, which was his new record at the time. So yeah, nice that they threw those in as well. Okay, so that's me going over the box set. the 60s box. So again, really good box, much like the 50s box set. Yeah, and a really great release as well. So yeah. And I do have, as I said, had the 2010 version beforehand, which is the smaller version. But I'll soon be selling this one on, as I've now got the regular version, the 93 version. So I don't really need this one now. This one's all right, but you know, again, the way it's packaged, and you know, it's much the same, just smaller, much like the 50s one I have as well. But still not too bad though. It was cheap at the time when I got it. I didn't have the box yet, so there's that one. Now we're on to the other release, which is the Essential 60 Masters 2. The Command Performances. This is a 2 CD set of Elvis's film soundtrack songs from the 60s. So it's from 1960s GI Blues up to the 1969 film Change of Habit, his last acting film. Of course, he had acted in the 50s from Love Me Tender. The only really alternate thing on here is an alternate take of Follow That Dream, which was used because, again, the stereo master, they couldn't find the stereo master for that. As that was an EP. And this originally came as, I think, a 2 CD kind of fat box thing, but my copy is just the slimline CD version with the booklet inside, so it's, you know, it's not too bad. There's all the tracks there. Some really good rare film songs on here, and yeah, just really good release to go along with the other one. And we get a nice booklet, and there's a nice back picture with all the singles and album covers again. Inside here. And all the recording dates as well, which is nice that they included those information in. And even some of Elvis's film songs were released as hit singles. Examples include Wooden Heart, Can't Help Falling in Love, or Rockahula Baby rather, Return to Sender, Viva Las Vegas, so yeah, those kind of songs. And it's even got a little less conversation on here, which was used in the film Live a Little, Love a Little. And then in 2002, that was then remixed and it became a huge #1 hit. And apologies for my phone going off there. I'll answer that when I've done this video. It's probably just a notification thing. So there's that one. I have all of Elvis films on DVD. So that's the Essential 60s Masters 2. So I hope you've all enjoyed this video. That's me going over the box set. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you all enjoyed it. And I definitely would like to do a video on the 70s Masters, and I'll do that at some point. And then I've done all the Masters box sets now and releases. So yeah, if you've got this box set, if you like it, then you can leave a comment below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and see you again for the next video. Until then, bye just now.